Chapter 3, Lesson 23, Uranus. Uranus takes approximately 7 years to travel through a zodiacal sign. As a result, you'll find that people will share these collective qualities with others born in the same period of time. The outer planets access the higher octave or collective energies of the elements. With Uranus, the higher octave that's being accessed is the air element. Uranus symbolizes the creative and the collective mind of humanity. Its energies are of sudden bolts of knowledge that seem to come from the very air surrounding them. Genius and madness, as the saying goes, are never far apart. Because Uranus's energies are beyond mundane reality and reach into the collective, a person who has Uranus strong in their chart will make you wonder which side of the genius and madness fence they're residing upon. Original and eccentric, Uranus does not care what others think or what society thinks. All it cares about is that the new, inventive, and original idea is expressed. A good example of Uranian energy is the dusty, absent-minded genius professor or scientist locked away in his lab or study exploring the depths of a totally new and innovative idea. So locked into their studies and their life in isolation that they lose touch with normal societal customs and habits. As a result, they can seem a bit weird to the average person, especially when they have these sudden bursts of insight and exclaim loudly from time to time that they've figured it out. Eureka! Aha! This is Uranus energy. The outer planets of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are treated differently in astrology than the other planets. Because they take so long to travel around a zodiacal sign, whole groups of people will share these energy patterns. As a result, they are considered a generational influence. The outer planets' energies will express themselves more through their house position and if they're prominent in the birth chart. Correspondences of Uranus. Uranus resonates to 207.36 Hz. The properties of Uranus help us to make life changes through inspiration and insights. Freedom of expression and the power of renewal are enhanced, as is the quality of self-discovery and self-expression towards individuality and a more universal perspective. The angelic being that is associated with Uranus is Uriel. The element of Uranus is the higher octave of air. The flowers, herbs, and other vegetation that correspond to Uranus are snowdrop, great valerian, pokeweed, exotic plants with sharp, irregular leaves, plants that shock or excite the nervous system, plants that cause paralysis, purging plants, plants that ward off lightning, air plants that need no soil, plants that have purple or electric blue leaves, plants that change color in the light, and genetically engineered plants, GMOs. The incense and perfume fragrance of Uranus is jasmine. The metal of Uranus is platinum. The crystals and minerals that correspond to Uranus are zircon, meteorite, and any stone struck by lightning. The color associated with Uranus is white and ultraviolet. To help you understand and have a personal experience of the essence of Uranus, gather items from the above correspondence list in the space that you do your contemplations. This will help you access this energy. Read through the list and then collect as many of the items as you can. Pictures of some of the items will do, but you need to have the perfume or incense smell of Uranus wafting in the air. It's very beneficial to have a Uranus type of crystal to hold while you contemplate, as is the lighting of a white candle to be placed on the table, that you have a white cloth on, and that you have collected all the other Uranus correspondence items on. At this point, I'd like you to hold your crystal, light the candle and incense, then gaze at the other Uranus items that you were able to collect on the white cloth. Then play the piece of music by Gustav Holst called Uranus from his Planets suite. You may be able to access the music via YouTube. Then listen to it while you use all of your senses to experience Uranus. Next, get ready to do your formal contemplation on Uranus while you listen to 207.36 Hertz music softly in the background. You may be able to access this tonal music via YouTube. Look for a recording that is about 20 to 30 minutes long. Now close your eyes and vividly visualize an image of the planet Uranus. Hold this image in your mind for a few minutes. Then visualize a lightning bolt and thunder cracking across the heavens. Or visualize the picture of Nikola Tesla that I've included. Then let your mind soften and flow for the next 20 minutes while this 207.36 Hertz music played softly in the background, and see what else comes into your mind. After you've completed the 20-minute contemplation, go about your day and think about all the qualities of Uranus. Come to understand how important Uranus is in helping us to overcome the status quo, and how important new technologies have been to our way of life, and to helping us to understand ourselves better. Then go on with your day, allowing additional thoughts about the meaning of Uranus to filter through your consciousness. Uranus, Part 2. In this section, we will incorporate all that you've experienced of what Uranus is with the energies of the zodiacal signs. Whole books are written on this subject, but my point here is not to write a book that you just read and then forget about because you never access the reasons of how and why it is as it is. I want you to be able to understand the root of where all of this is coming from. This will put you into the position of being able to interpret the material for yourself. I want to help you reach that higher state of mind that simply knows. In the beginning of each of the zodiacal sections, I'll place a short key and symbol section. These are meant to give you quick access to what each of the Uranus positions through the zodiac means, through the intellectual and intuitive mind, accessed through imagery. Uranus in Aries. Key. Inventive new ideas are aggressively presented. Symbol. A revolutionary leader formulates a new direction. Uranus in Aries is cardinal fire. The Uranus and Aries generation have the ability to intuitively receive from the planetary mind a new direction for mankind. Cardinal fire. This generation has new ideas and concepts for pioneering innovative ways for humanity to progress. The only time that they have issues with society is when a path of leadership that is not in alignment with the good of society as a whole is pursued. The house placement of Uranus and Aries indicates whether the individual will be the active agent of the Uranus and Aries energies for their generation and in what capacity this will occur, or if they will be part of the majority of the people of this generation that will agree and support or rebel wildly against what the active members of this generational group pioneered. After reading this short piece on Uranus and Aries, go into a contemplation on other qualities of Uranus in this position. Now consider what would happen if the Uranus in Aries person's energies were restricted or controlled by others. What would the outcome of that look like? Then spend the rest of the day considering and reflecting on this Uranus sign position and what it would be like for every sun sign position to be teamed up with an Aries Uranus. As an example, would it be easy for a Cancer sun sign to have this Uranus position? What would that energy combination be like? What about a Virgo sun sign with an Aries Uranus? Go through all of the sun sign positions in combination with the Aries Uranus and reflect what this would be like. Keep practicing the art of combining and interpreting these different energies. Now observe all the people in your world. Watch them and look for the Aries Uranus qualities. Can you see the person who is a pioneering revolutionary? Now consult a good ephemeris, that's a book of planetary motions, to find the times when Uranus is in Aries, which is roughly once every 84 years. and look to see the similarities of the people born under Uranus and Aries. Astrology is very much an observing science and art form. Uranus and Taurus. Key: revolutionary ideas are implemented in tangible material reality. Symbol: a farmer uses advanced new methods for growing crops. Uranus and Taurus is fixed earth. The Uranus and Taurus person has the ability to put new ideas into solid, tangible forms. Fixed earth. The people of this generation have the ability to intuitively receive from the higher mind brand new ideas for materiality. They make the new directions that have been pioneered by the previous generation blossom into tangible form. These people receive intuitive insights about how to structure these new directions in a practical way. Disruptions occur for this generation when they hold on to the old value systems that are not in harmony with this new direction. The house placement of Uranus and Taurus indicates whether the person will be the active agent of the Uranus and Taurus energies for their generation, and in what capacity this will occur, or if they will be part of the majority of the people of this generation that will agree and support or rebel wildly against what the active members of this generational group try to do. After reading this short piece on Uranus and Taurus, go into a short contemplation on other qualities of Uranus in this position. Now consider what would happen if the Uranus and Taurus person's energy were restricted or controlled by others. What would the outcome of that look like? Then spend the rest of the day considering and reflecting on this Uranus sign position and what it would be like for every sun sign position to be teamed up with a Taurus Uranus. As an example, would it be easy for a Leo sun sign to have this Uranus position? What would that energy combination be like? What about a Virgo sun sign with a Taurus Uranus? Go through all of the sun sign positions in combination with the Taurus Uranus and reflect what this would be like. Keep practicing this art of combining and interpreting these different energies. Now observe all the people in your world. Watch them and look for the Taurus Uranus qualities. Can you see the person who is the manifester of radical new ideas? Now consult a good ephemeris, that's a book of planetary motions, to find the times when Uranus is in Taurus, which is roughly once every 84 years, and look to see the similarities of the people born under Uranus and Taurus. Astrology is very much an observing science and art form. Uranus in Gemini. Key: radical new ideas are communicated to the masses. Symbol: a television panelist on a discussion forum talks about a revolutionary new idea. Uranus in Gemini is mutable air. The Uranus and Gemini generation have the ability to receive from the intuitive mind, air, new forms of communicating the radically innovative ideas of their time, mutable. This generation has fresh insights in how to communicate and promote the new concepts that were being established from the collective mind of humanity. These are the people that took to the streets to do protests and demonstrations for a better world. They do sit-ins, took over college administration buildings, and made their voices heard in radically new ways. Disruptions only occur only when they try or were forced into staying on a traditional, logical, and rational level of communication. This generation needed to expand their minds into a more intuitive and radical form of communicating, which is what they were here to do. The house placement of Uranus in Gemini indicates whether the individual will be the active agent of the Uranus and Gemini energies for their generation, or if they'll be part of the majority of the people of this generation that will agree and support or radically rebel against what the active members of this generational group intuitively communicate. After reading this short piece on Uranus and Gemini, go into a contemplation on other qualities of Uranus in this position. Now consider what would happen if the Uranus and Gemini person's energies were restricted or controlled by others. What would the outcome of that look like? Then spend the rest of the day considering and reflecting on this Uranus sign position and what it would be like for every sun sign position to be teamed up with a Gemini Uranus. As an example, would it be easy for a Virgo sun sign to have this Uranus position? What would that energy combination be like? What about a Libra sun sign with a Gemini Uranus? Go through all of the sun sign positions in combination with the Gemini Uranus and reflect what this would be like. Keep practicing this art of combining and interpreting these different energies. Now observe all the people in your world. Watch them and look for the Gemini Uranus qualities. Can you see the communicator of radical new ideas? Now consult a good ephemeris, that's a book of planetary motions, to find the times when Uranus is in Gemini, which is roughly once every 84 years, and look to see the similarities of the people born under Uranus and Gemini. Astrology is very much an observing science and art form.